This is Gamashi, one of the 6 Ga communities that celebrates the Homowo festival and home to thousands of people. Come with me, Philip Lartey, as we understand the rich history behind this festival.
Homowo, meaning hooting at hunger, is one of the most celebrated and colorful festivals in Ghana. It is celebrated by the Ga people in the Greater Accra region, made up of 6 independent towns or communities. They include Gamashi, Osu, La, Teshi, Nungwa, and Tema. The festival is celebrated yearly from the month of May to September.
As Ghanaians, we believe in a monotheistic God who in turn have divinities serving under him. It so happened in the ancient times that the Nile River, which is called Nile, sometimes between October and November, overflows its bounds. After the water recedes, there is a fertile soil for the growth of crops, and this takes place between November and February. Then after February, crops will be sown and harvested, sometimes in June. Then in July, the people get set to celebrate the divinities of the sun, of the waters, and of the soil. The sun, known to the Egyptians, was La, which the Greeks wrongfully translated as Ra. And the divinity of the sun is Pan. Then the river Nile has a divinity called Afieye. And that divinity takes care of the soil and its fertility. So after the water has receded and after the god of fertility has granted abundance crops to the people, they settle down to jubilate. There were a whole lot of wars that confronted them. There were lean seasons, there were lean periods, there were a period of hunger. So after they came to settle, they celebrated the abundance of food. And so we call it Homowo, hooting over hunger.
There are several rituals and ceremonies that characterize the festival. These are steeped in centuries of myth and legend. These ceremonies are sacred and are symbolic of the rich history of the Ga people.
After the harvest, there are a series of rituals and rites that are performed to honor the gods and the deities. and that is also part of the annual celebration. It is not only a period of hunger, it is a period of reckoning, it is a period of peacemaking, it is a period of universal brotherhood. In order to evaluate the raison d'etre or the rationale for their living, to look forward where they went wrong, and to devise strategies and map out strategies about ways of overcoming all those difficulties and the way forward.
The various Ga communities celebrate the festival in turns. According to legend, this was to avoid attacks from enemies. The 6 Ga communities partake in various unique activities peculiar to their area during the period of the festival.
The festivals for each of these states is arranged in such a manner that the Ga state will always be on the alert. In times past, when people are jubilating, they forget about enemies that are prowling around, and unexpected usually overtakes them. So now, whilst one community is celebrating, the other communities stay on the alert so that in case of any attack, they will go to the defense of the unprepared community. The Homowo rite runs through all the 6 communities. The festival starts with a ceremony called Bloy Aheju, or the cleansing of the gods. This ceremony takes place usually at the shrine of the chief priest of each of the town, where a wooden bowl is put down, a series of herbs are put in it, water is put in it, incantations are pronounced over it, and it becomes really holy water. And this holy water is taken to be sprinkled on each of the deities around.
One of the most unique activities of the Homowo festivities is the Lartey. This is unique to the people of Labadi, where the chief and his chief priest dance to the tune of the drummers and singers in the town. They are joined by the natives of the land who sing various traditional songs. This is followed by an activity called Shakamo, which is embracing loved ones to foster unity and love.
The Homowo rite runs through all the 6 communities. The festival first starts with Nungwa doing a ceremony that is known and called Dudomi Nuwo. It is done on 3 consecutive weeks. After the first Dudomi Nuwo from Nungwa, the people from Lartey will take you to actually sow their millet. After the town has been cleansed with holy water, the soil becomes fertile for millet to be planted. It takes 2 weeks for the millet to germinate into maturity. It's followed another 2 weeks by a ceremony we call yam ceremony, where yam is given to the deities that do not partake maize, and it is usually done in the stool rooms and the stool houses and other deities. After the yam festival, we come to the cleansing of the gods, of the seas, of the waters, etc. In Teshi, for example, the cleansing of the sea deities is done by the Wulache and other chief priests. It is done at various places. You know, the sea deity that we know in Accra land is Bonso. That is the sperm whale. In each of these towns, if you visit them, you have areas where shrines have been established for these sperm whales. And so the ceremony is done on these shrines, where a goat is slaughtered, the blood is sprinkled over the shrine. The flesh is dressed, pieces of it and the entrails are sprinkled along the coast. The rest is cooked into a meal they call futoli. That is unleavened maize flour, a little oil, and a few ingredients, and it's cooked, and it must be eaten raw the same day. Nothing remains. The rest will be buried at the spot. The following day, there will be another rite which we call ban on deep sea fishing, where an expedition will be sent out into the sea for 2 days to bring certain particular fish they call chile. In English, it's called snapper. After they get the chile, they will come. The oracles and the deities will go and meet them, and a virgin, a young virgin, will be made to carry the chile to the shrine of the chief priest. This will be preserved for the next year's cooking. After the Inshobulimo rites, it comes to the turn of the surrounding villages to do a ceremony they call Village Yam Festival, where they will also make a meal of oto plus egg. Oto is made from yam and red oil and a few condiments, and then it's eaten in communism. It's put on a clay dish. Everybody comes to partake to represent the unity of the people. The following Monday will be the day for the placing of ban on drumming and noise making, and this has cultural and historical significance. In Ga cosmology, we believe that the dead and the departed ancestors have not gone. They have an abode within us at a sacred place, and they visit us from time to time. The same applies to the deities, the sea gods, the river gods, the mountain gods, etc. So at this period, when the ban is placed on drumming, in fact, we have something we call Jirahumu, where the ancient path that leads to the world of the ancestors, the ancestral world, will be cleared by hosts, and the whole town cleansed. After that, it is believed that the deities and the departed ones will visit the town and speak to the oracles, the priests, and the warrior, and give them spiritual directions on where they have to go. Two weeks after the ban, the people that has traveled to the hinterland and to the villages will all converge back at Teshi on a Monday. They call it Homowo.
So
Thursday is a sacred day where no work is done for the fishing, for the farmers, and then Tuesdays are for fishermen. So they will come with their palm notes singing songs of praise to their maker and to their deities. The following day, which will be a Tuesday, is a day that is set apart for the cooking of our traditional meal called kwekwe. It is a meal of unfermented corn flour, eaten with palm nut soup, prepared exclusively with sea fish and chili. The significance of this meal is that it is not eaten by a person alone, but the meal is put in an earthenware dish. Everybody gather around it and we eat it in unity to signify the unity, the love, the togetherness, and the devotion of the people to one another.
Kpekpe, also referred to as kpekpe, is a meal prepared and eaten by the people of Gas during the celebration of the Homowo festival. The primary ingredient of this sacred meal are steamed and fermented cornmeal, palm nut soup, and smoked fish. Kpekpe is usually sprinkled throughout the community by the chief, believing that the ancestors of the land will be pleased by the offering.
Ngowala simply means receive life in abundance. The day is significant because it is a day of reconciliation. It is this day that people gather together in their various houses to be counted. It is a day where in-laws pay homage to their mother or father-in-laws for giving them very beautiful and handsome babies. In time past, the ladies will carry firewood and kerosene and matches to their in-laws, while the male will give pieces of cloth or other valuable things to their in-laws. That is done early at dawn. That same day, if you have a problem with a member of the family or a member of the community, the day is open. You wake up early, go and knock at the person's door. You embrace each other, weep on each other's shoulder, all the matter is settled. That same day is the day of remembrance, where at dawn you see old men, old women, and the youth. They will just wake up and come and sit on their wooden stool and start weeping in remembrance of the dead.
The Festival of the Twins, traditionally known as Ye 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 or Akwelesuma, is a major cornerstone in the Homowo festival celebration. The ritual takes place every year in Gamashi. All twins from Gamashi are dressed in white and paraded through the town. Customarily, on the day of the festival, the twins are given a special bath to protect them from any misfortune or calamity that may befall them. A special meal of mashed yam, known as oto, is prepared for the twins. A series of activities and special ceremonies are also done to celebrate the twins. When the celebrations are over, the twins are bathed with the leftovers of the mashed yam from the ceremony. The residue is then paraded through the town and dumped along the Kole River.
The carrier is always possessed, and it will go from shrine to shrine, from house to house, sprinkling bits of this water to purify the place and bring blessing to the people. We call it Twin Festival or Haji Ayeleyeli. In the olden days, when someone gives birth to twins, the twins are believed to have evil and negative vibrations around them, so they are killed instantly. And so no twins were entertained in town until the time of King Ayibonte. He happened to give birth to twins, 2 boys, and he fell so much in love that he did not allow the twins to be killed. So he spirited them out of town to Fantiland, and then from time to time he'll be sending monies and other things for their upkeep. On a Friday before the Ghana festival, they visited the town. And when they came, everybody saw the resemblance. It was very striking, and they hailed them. So they said, well, we cannot kill these people at this age, so let us make some rites to actually purify them and integrate them into the society. The Naiulom at the time got the wooden bowl, put 7 different herbs in it. The herbs are varied. Nyanya, Hiaba, Tonile, up to 7. And they poured water on it and recited incantations on it. Crushed an egg into it to purify the people for them to be integrated. Apart from the egg, they killed 2 white fowls and put the blood in it. Then the goat was slaughtered, and the fowl and the goat were used to prepare fotoli. But the food proper for the Haji or the twins is yam and oto. So they did that thing, gave it to the people. Then subsequently, all twins that were born were integrated into the society. They were no longer killed. On this particular Sunday, we go around the town with all the Mashimo groups following, and then at 6 o'clock in the evening, it will go and overturn at a spot called Lagesi Manku, and that will be the end of the festival.
The people of Teshi climax the Homowo festival with the Citi rite, a rite to cleanse the Teshi township and indigents.
It is said that a nation or a people without a language and without a culture is bound to extinction. When the language of a particular community is lost, the people have lost their identity. Therefore, our passionate appeal and admonishment to the youth of today is that they may take pride in their language and in their culture, and do everything to preserve it for this present generation, for generations tomorrow, and for generations yet unborn.
Coming to know about the rich history of the Homowo Festival, how about joining the celebration next year from the month of May to September to experience more of this? My name is Philip Lartey.